Welcome back everyone to Punny Plays the Beorning, and we are here in Dunharrow because it is time to begin Volume 4, The Strength of Sauron. But first, let's get ourselves introduced to Western Gondor.
Our mission is dire.
Hail Pineclaw and well met. We have much to speak of, such as starting Volume 4, I presume.
I am glad you have come with such haste, for these troubles weigh heavily upon me.
Pineclaw, I am glad you have come with such haste, for these troubles weight heavily upon me, and I do not know how they may be overthrown. It is my uncle's choice to ride to Minas Tirith, and thereby satisfy the vows of his forefathers. But why should he not ride for Gondor with every sword he can command, either by oath or by love? It is folly to allow proven warriors to abandon my uncle's course, lest it be doomed by their absence. And yet, in the early hours, Aragorn and his kinsmen departed Dunharrow for the paths of the dead. He spoke of need, but I can see no need on that road, save that of a yawning tomb that hopes to be filled. The dead men of Dunharrow do not suffer the living to pass. Several of the men saw him go, and speak words of despair. Find these men, and set their minds aright, if you can, and then return, and do the same for me, please. I do not think you can, but I must wear a brave face for the men that will not give into sorrow tomorrow, for their sake. All right? Let us speak with various members of the Rohirrim and set their minds at ease, because apparently Aragorn has gone through the paths of the dead. Well, I guess that should be no shock considering the hints that we've been given all this time. Hello there.
The grim Northerners departed Dunharrow at first light.
Yes, the grim Northerners departed Dunharrow at first light, but did not stay to explain their course. I would think them cowardly had I not seen the road they took, south, along the Dimholt Road. That way lies death. Well, I'm sure Aragorn has reasons to take that road. Yeah, right. I do not doubt he had his reasons, Fred, but it is clear his loyalty is not to Theoden King. We will have need of every man if we are to ride to Minas Tirith, as my king commands, and I see we are cheated of a powerful fighting force in Aragorn's choice. I count the chances of our success against the enemy less and less with each sword he takes with him into the mountain. I saw the winged beast over Adoras. I know what dangers we face. Ooh, right? So Seadrak isn't exactly confident on that. He relies on these fighting straight to Rohan is insufficient to help Gondor. Oh, well, we'll have to find that out. I mean, we don't want to go through all this and it turn out to be insufficient. Hello there. Oh, I guess I could say, I could ask him some questions. Where are you from? Tell me about Beowyn. Are you gonna be alright? These inquiries make it difficult to ride a horse. Injuries make it difficult to ride a horse. I made it the rest of the way only through the careful guidance and measured gait of my steed, and could not hope to fight at the end of the journey. This makes me merely a burden to the ride to Gondor, but a tremendous weakness in the line upon our arrival. My presence would harm the king more than my absence. My body will heal in time, but my mind that will hurt longest if I cannot fight for my king when he goes forth to Gondor. Ah, yes, that's the tricky thing about being an injured soldier.
Men are still arriving at Dunharrow from all corners of the Mark.
Yes, but I do not think enough men will arrive. I rode forth from the Hornburg as my king commanded, and most hamlets and villages responded to his call with clear voices and proud hearts. But this day I see few of those who spoke loudest. On my return from Forlaw in Wildemore, I was beset by an orc raiding party. The injuries I sustained will keep me from riding to my king's train. To the frustration and disappointment, swords and spears need men to wield them, and that resource is in short supply. I say men, but the blood of Theoden's king's niece Eowyn burns for Rohan, and she will fight bravely for the kingdom. Were it permitted, of course. Alas, it is not so, and the both of us will be kept from doing what we desire, for I am a man injured, and she a woman unwounded. Unhappy fortunes. Yeah. And what else have we got here? Hello there, how are you feeling?
This road leads to the Grimmerberg. Why would anyone go to that haunted mountain?
Why would anyone go to the haunted mountain of Dwimmerberg, or tread its paths beneath it? That is not bravery. Only folly could lead you to there. I think that Aragorn considers his reasons for braving them to be quite sufficient. Heh! I hope he is not wrong, Pineclaw. It seems a great shame to allow a skilled warrior to disappear into such a place when we could use his talents elsewhere, at other battles. Alright. Well, at least his mood is better. That will help, I hope. And hope that they will be ready for the... Oh. For the battle that comes. Tents everywhere. Alright, here we go. Hello there, Eowyn.
We are plagued with ill fortune. A child may have followed Aragorn into the paths of the dead.
Yes, an encampment this size is bound to attract the attention of children and others who live near. That much I expect. But I did not expect even children to act this reckless foolhardy. This boy tells me one of his friends, Elfdog, may have followed Aragorn into the paths of the dead. I thought it to be a mere boast of a child, but none have seen Elfdog today. I dispatched a number of men to find them, but they too have not returned. Elfdog is the grandson of Elfhelm, Pineclaw. We cannot have lost him in this fashion. Ooh, right. No, we don't. Well, what's going on?
I did not mean for it to go so far.
Yeah, we didn't mean to go that far. We watched the men ride to the mountain in the morning, and then Elfdog challenged me to follow them, and I did the same to him. And before he could say Helm Hammerhas, we were right at the dark door. I returned to camp after that, and I thought he followed me on my hills, but he's gone, and no one has seen him. I know who's going to be given this assignment.
If I bring you to the entrance, will you enter the mountain and search for Elfdag?
Yes, you're a healer, aren't you? Yes. I overheard some of the men speaking of your deeds, and by your account of seeing accomplished adventure. If I could bring you to the entrance, will you enter the mountain and search for Elfdog? Yes, I cannot follow you in, of course. Yeah, I will not follow. Yeah, I promise I won't follow you in. Yes, let me know when you are ready, and I will bring you to the place. If you have a fellowship of like-minded adventurers, bring them along too. I dare say there'll be a place for them as well. Alright, this is one of those ones that you could do either in a fellowship or in solo. So let's go.
I will bring you to the dark door.
Oh, fun.
The Dimholt Road leads to the Dark Door and the paths beneath the haunted mountain where the dead walk. Few dare to go that way.
Oh, fun. We get to go into the paths of the dead. Have you come to seek Elfdug? I ventured beneath the mountain with several of my men, but we ran afoul of the dead, and only I have survived this encounter. I fled the cavernous room where they fell, but I feel no shame for it. It was folly to come here in the first place. There is a passage we thought to search in the southwest wall of the cavernous room, but we were set upon before we could venture this way. If you seek Elfdag, that is a good place to begin. But wait, before you go, are you journeying here yourself, or do you bring a fellowship with you? And speak with me to tell you which one. And the idea here is the difficulty of the encounter, so I will succeed by myself. I hope you're truly skilled adventurer, friend. For my part, I am glad to have escaped this tunnel with my life. Alright. So, let's see how this works. Solo! And up in a while. Now, one of the things is you see this dead, I think, walking around here doing nothing until we're ready. That, I believe, is one of the things that changes when you are doing this alone. Is that they take turns. Right. So this is the easy version. So they do this for a couple of quests in this area. At least it's not inspiration, which I never was exactly liking all that much. I know, slightly silly with them going around like that, but I always feel that inspiration in itself is always a little bit silly. You feel inspired and are now overpowered, super overpowered. Well, maybe not quite trivialize the quest, but that's what it feels like sometimes. Alright, let's head back. Now, of course, it does help to have a couple of levels here. Now, you do get one that's doubled up. But that's what Bearform is for. Or whatever other trick your particular class has. But you see, these can get a little on the challenging side. Oh yeah, let me get my morale back up. Good. One of Waldir's companions is here, and he lies victim on the ground. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, just continue to search this way. Take this way. At least when we have the one at a time, I can get my wrath up. Or when I do the encounters that require more than one at a time. So yeah, I could probably get through this one a little bit faster in Bearform, but I figure have some wrath ready for when I fight the two at a time, and that'll be good. But it looks like I'm going to have to get them both. Alright, let's see. I think it might have been possible for me to pull just one of them, but they seem to... I missed my opportunity. I either didn't shoot my bow fast enough, or of course, the Beornings aren't exactly the best at using their bows, because I have to turn on an auto attack to do that. So it's not the easiest weapon on our repertoire. Now the trick is the next fight after this. Actually, there might be one or two fights before the last one, but the big fight at the end, that's the one that really gets tricky. Alright, well, let's see, they're not in good shape. Alright, here we go. And another one of these. So they're here to get my wrath up. That's their entire purpose. Oh well. But okay, so of course, if you're impatient. Hopefully the cooldowns will be... Yeah, right. Oh, it's the road. I want to go down the road. Another Waldir's companion lies on his outstretched hand, pointing southwest. Alright. See moving ahead. Is that Elf Dog? I hope so. We're getting quite a bit through here. Alright, so the Paths of the Dead. Yeah, the fact that we actually enter this place is crazy enough. But I guess the worst of it has been dealt with Aragorn coming through here. But obviously you can see that there are some who did not go with Aragorn. Because Aragorn's already passed through here and the place, I'm sure, was... Oops! Brimming with the dead. Alright, let's see. Up. Ah, yes, this is the way. Well, hello there. My wounds are severe, but we did not check this tunnel. Alright, good. And then let's check it. And we find banners up ahead. And another one of these pairs. And a little swirl around. Let's swirl around the Beorning. Haha, let's scare him. There can be no release for us. Uh-oh. Alright. Real pessimist there. A real pessimist. That doesn't help you too much. I found Abdag, yes. Oh, right. Well, he's frightened by the dead. Oh my! Are you a hero? Are you here to help me? Yeah, I'm here to help you. Oh, watch out! The dead are everywhere, even if you cannot see them. Oh, you mean like this guy? These two? Yeah. Alright, now time to use some of my wrath here. Right, let's get them down. Okay, that's one down. And heal up and get my wrath up, and that'll do. That way I don't have to worry about falling down between waves. I think there are 2 waves or something like that around here. Yeah. I remember this being a tough fight on some of my squishier characters. Well, okay, well. Let's go down. I think that's enough. Right, is that it? Or more? Ah! I've proven your persistence. They retreat. Okay, is that all of them? It's impossible to say for certain. You are a great adventurer, I can tell. But I think we should leave at once. These dead men won't stay away for long, no matter how often they are defeated. We will speak once we are above ground, right? Yes. Overheard some things that you may want to know. Alright. Good thing. Let's go. Alright, we're above ground now. What do you want to tell me?
You are not going to tell my grandfather, are you?
Yes, I had everything in hand, but I am certain he would not think so. No, my grandfather certainly won't. If you tell him of this adventure of mine, he is bound to lock me up in Underharrow, and the wife of the Thane does not appreciate young lads or lasses underfoot. She always scowls when she sees my friends and me about. I dare say we would be safer in the Dwimmerberg than in the house of Ellen Fremedon, if you say. Yeah. Well, yes, don't worry. I'll see that you keep your freedom on this. Yes, well, now, what happened? Yes, well, it was dark, and there were shadows flitting all about, but if you really strained your ears, you could hear whispers and sighs, the voices of the dead. I gathered from their talk that a man had come through hours before and claimed he could free them from their curse. Some of the dead followed him and left in his wake, but others of the dead did not believe his claim, and they stayed behind. These are especially cruel, and they have abandoned any hope of escaping the curse. These are now the ruthless dead, and they hate the living and the dead alike. I suppose I am glad to be back above ground after all. Yes, I hope that you are. So what does Eowyn think about this? Well, we'll find that out in the next episode of Piney Plays The Beorning.